Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about a new foundation. I am trying out the new LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation, and I just received this yesterday. I ordered this from Trend Beauty, I think it was, but it's now on Beauty Bay. You can buy it on Ulta, and you can buy it from the LA Girl website if you're in the US. I thought I'd put this foundation to the test. I do like the other LA Girl foundation, the LA Girl Pro Coverage, I think it's called. This is the Pro Matte, and I'm dying to try it out. I'm super tired this morning. I didn't get to bed till 3 a.m. and it is now midday. I know it's midday because I just heard the Angelas. Is that like the most Irish thing you've ever heard me say? Probably. The bottle's actually beautiful. It's a frosted glass. I just think for the price, I think I paid €12 for this, $11.99, something like that. And it comes in a frosted glass bottle. I mean, high-end brands, take note. It comes with like a rubber lid, and then there's a pump on it. And I got the shade medium beige. I have no idea if this is going to match me. It looks pretty light, but we're going to try and get away with it, and we'll do bronzers and all that jazz. Okay, so let's read some claims about this foundation. On the Beauty Bay website, there are 14 shades of this foundation. It is described to be a medium to full coverage foundation, lightweight and long-lasting. Features a creamy formula that glides onto the skin for a smooth, suede-like finish, effortless, blendable, that's mattifying and minimizes the appearance of pores, fine lines to deliver a flawless soft focus effect. It's paraben free, and like I said, there's 14 shades. Use a foundation brush, apply evenly from the center of the face outwards. That's all it says. So I think it's pretty straightforward, and we know how to apply foundation. So with every first impressions of a foundation, we are going to prime one side, apply one side with a brush and one side with a beauty blender, just to see if it applies better with a primer, without. Does it apply better with a beauty blender or a brush? You can see, guys, I'm just not with it at all today. If you guys are not aware, I have oily skin and I'm pretty problematic around my T-zone area. It's where I get most of my breakouts, enlarged pores, most of my oiliness, which is just so cute. I mean, we all love oiliness. So I'm going to prime this side of my face with my Professional from Benefit. It's one of my favorite primers, and it seems to work with every single foundation. Here comes the sun, da 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 da. Here comes the sun, and I said, it's all right. I'm crazy today. Let's get more of this coffee into me. Wake me up a bit. So let's start off with applying a bit of this to the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in with my beauty blender first. Pull up my sleeves. Just going to pump this out into the back of my hand. So that shade looks a tad bit light for me, just with my self-tan. That matches my natural skin tone as it is, but not my tan. But you know, whatever, we'll bronze up, we'll be fine. So it is quite full coverage. It blends out really effortlessly. And to me, yes, I would say it kind of has like that suede-like finish on the skin. It's not really like luminous, it's not flat matte. It kind of has, yeah, like that suede effect to the skin. So my favorite brush to use foundation on is my F80 brush from Sigma. So again, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a couple of pumps on the back of my hand. You know what, guys? I just feel like I should just give up right now and go back to bed because I'm just having such word slurs. I'm not noticing a huge amount of difference between the brush and the beauty blender coverage wise. Usually a brush will give me a lot more coverage, but with this, it looks kind of much of a muchness. Definitely on my forehead, it's probably giving me a little bit more coverage. The shade's a little off. It is quite pale. Like I said, we'll fix all that with bronzer. Okay, so that glided over my skin quite nicely. I'm not getting as much of my desired coverage as I would like with one application, so I'm just going to go in with a second layer just to see how this builds up on the skin. Okay, this one's building up quite nicely. Foundation's layering quite nicely. It's building up quite well. The coverage is fantastic. It looks lovely on my skin. Really suede-like effect on the skin. And I'm pleasantly surprised with this. It has a real velvet appearance on my skin. It's just really nice. It's not flat looking. I'm really happy with the application of that and how it looks on my skin right now. I think it looks beautiful, and I got a really nice coverage with it. And like that, my skin looks kind of like velvety and suede-like. I'm not noticing any difference between the primed and unprimed side as you know, application or sinking into anything like pore wise, but I've just put the foundation on, so we'll give it a little bit of time. Let's get a bit up close and personal. I don't know what you guys think of it there, but on my skin I'm really impressed with it. It looks super nice, really full coverage. Didn't have any issues with it clinging. I really like the finish of this foundation. I'm not used to finishes like this in foundations. Well, I probably do have foundations that finish like this, but this one is just really nice. So there you go. I honestly don't have much else to say at this point because I'm just loving the look of this foundation on my skin. I just think it looks beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. It's sitting so nicely on my skin. It has oxidized like a tiny bit, like half a shade. If this foundation does wear well on me, this will be something I might mix in like those Catrice darkening drops too, or I might just go and get the next shade up just for more tanned days. And I said that there's 14 shades on the website. They're kind of hit and miss with the shades as they go up. Some of the shades have different undertones, and you know, I have to have a look again at the website because I did find it really hard to try and pick a shade. I don't really have anything else to say at this point. Like I said, it's just midday, so I'm going to try and wear this foundation between 10 to 12 hours just to see what the wear is like. I'm going to go off now and film a full face of first impressions. I have a box full of new goodies to try out, so that video will probably be coming your way sooner than you think. I'll link it in a card up here and in the description down below. So that's all I have to say right now. I love this foundation. I'm going to do my full face first impressions, come back and tell you guys how everything sat on top of it, and do a little bit of a check-in with you. I'm going to try and leave it maybe till around 3 o'clock. That's enough of me jabbering on. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. So I'm back for my first official update of the day, and it's currently 4 p.m. So this foundation has been on for 4 hours right now, and I am so impressed with this foundation, guys. I just finished filming my second video of the day. I did a full face first impressions, and then I did my top products from the drugstore. This foundation is wearing super well on my skin. All the products that I tried today are like first impressions, so I wasn't sure how everything was going to go on my face, considering I've never used this foundation before, so I don't know how it performs, but everything sat on my face amazingly well. My contour went on super well, blush, highlight, my setting powder, everything just sat on the skin beautifully. My skin looks like satin. I wasn't getting any blotchiness from the foundation, nothing like that. I just think it looks gorgeous on my skin. The wearing of it is going well. After wearing it for 4 hours, it looks like pretty decent on my skin, and it took me ages to kind of set it because I did my eye makeup first and then I set the foundation, and I was kind of a bit worried about it, like would it go patchy, etc., but no, it didn't, and it looks gorgeous on my skin. I'm so shook over this. I will zoom in so you can see what it looks like on my face with all my other products. Oh, and excuse this eye, I got mascara everywhere and I'm waiting for it to dry so I can wipe it off. But this is what the foundation looks like. It's not seeping into any fine lines or anything like that. Looks gorgeous on my skin. Really nice. Everything, like I said, sat on top of it so well. I have like a tiny bit of creasing up here, which I usually get from my expressions because I'm so expressionate. And I have a tiny little bit of creasing in my smile lines because that always happens, but it looks gorgeous otherwise. Like everything is just lovely. To be honest, I'm actually preferring the unprimed side to the prime side currently. I just feel like it looks like even better on this side of my skin than this side. So I don't know if you would even need a primer with this foundation. I don't expect too many of my oils to come through now, so we will see later on, but I love it. Hey guys, so I am back and I'm just doing my second update of the day. It is currently 8:03, so this foundation has been on for 8 hours, which is a long time to have a foundation on, but usually your standard working day or like a lengthy school day or college day, university day, whatever. And that's why I always like to test it around the 8-hour mark just to see how we're looking. I'm very impressed, like super impressed. I thought I'd be a lot oilier and shinier at this hour of the day. I have a little bit of shininess just on my chin, a little tiny bit just on my cheek area, a little bit more actually on the prime side, which is very strange. Nothing really major on my forehead, nothing in between my brows like too crazy. I'm not like overly oily or anything like that. I actually feel like I need a mirror. I'm preferring the unprimed side, to be honest, guys. I'm shocked with this, but it hasn't seeped into my pores as much as it has on the primed side. Looking pretty good. The only kind of complaint I have is just in between my brows. It's looking a tad cakey, but nothing like crazy. Like, it's not looking extremely cakey. It's just, I think, the mixture of my natural oils and the foundation, and it's breaking it down just a little bit, like a teeny tiny bit. So the unprimed side definitely looking a lot better. I'm getting a tad bit of cakiness just in around my nostril here on the primed side. No major transfer from what I can see. I'm pretty content. I'm actually happy at this hour of the day. This foundation is looking sweet after 8 hours, and I'm actually shocked. Thought that it might break down a lot more than it is. It always surprises me when something like the LA Girl foundation or a L'Oreal foundation, like a really affordable foundation, holds up better than something that I've spent 30, 40, 50 euro on. You guys know what a disappointment the All Hours foundation was from YSL, and the same thing with the Huda Beauty. I just was devastated about them, and Fenty Beauty as well. I didn't like any of those foundations, whereas I feel like the last few foundations that I've tried were super affordable and they were really good quality. I'll do like a close-up at the end of the night like I always do, just so we can see how we're getting on. So that's all I have to say now at this hour. I will check in with you guys probably around 10 or 11. That's all I need to say right now. I'll talk to you later. Hi guys, so I'm just here for my last check-in of the night. It is 10:30. Well, it's actually 28 minutes past 10, and I just said I would come back now because we've been wearing the foundation for over 10 hours. I've definitely gotten a little bit oilier. There is a little bit of transfer or a little bit of fading here on my jawline. A little bit on this side as well. Not like crazy amount, but like there definitely is fading. It's obvious to see. A little bit oily in around my nose here. This side is not as bad. Tiny bit of separation on my nose. Tip of my nose is fine. It has sank in a little bit to my smile lines a little bit more. And then the lines, my 11s as they're called, in between my brows, it's sunk into them. I'm pretty happy with the appearance of this foundation after 10.5 hours. I'm just going to take a blotting sheet to see if there's any oil coming off. Obviously there will be, but just how much is the question. So there is a fair bit of oil there and just a little bit of transfer as well from the foundation. It has kind of rubbed off a little bit. See, I'm just going to dab a tiny bit of powder on my face just to see what I can do, if I can tone down any of the oiliness, but just if it removes any of the additional oils, we'll be laughing. So yeah, that actually worked out okay, just adding a little bit of powder to my face. I am so happy with this foundation, guys. Like I said, it's been 10.5 hours since I put it on initially this morning, and it's looking unreal. Like, I am so happy with it. The fact that everything has remained on my face is amazing. Like, everything is like sitting on my face. My highlight, my blush, my bronzer is still there. You can see that my makeup is still intact and looks pretty decent. Just once you powder, it makes everything look a little bit better. I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can see a bit of up close of the foundation, but I am happy. See just a little bit of the separation I was talking about just in between my brows, just where it's gone a little bit cakey, not like crazy, and just a little bit around my nose. I definitely think the unprimed side looks better, especially in the viewfinder. It just looks a little bit better. My chin, there's just a tiny bit of transfer, and you can see just a little bit of transfer along my jawline. I have a little spot right there which is just starting to peek through, but it's not really noticeable. This side's not too bad, and I was leaning loads on this side of my hand because I was editing, and I always lean on this side while I'm editing, so there wasn't a crazy amount of transfer. So let's go through the pros and cons of this foundation. Pros: long wearing, affordable. It's lightweight on the skin. Even now, after wearing it for 10.5 hours, it still feels really lightweight on my skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. The shade selection is okay. It could be improved on. I mean, there's 14 shades, but there's not something for everyone, if that makes any sense. But for an affordable drugstore foundation, 14 shades is pretty standard. Well, it's not actually pretty standard. Usually most foundations only come in between 6 and 10 shades. Another pro of this is all my products sat on top of it really, really well, and it looks flawless on my skin. The only cons I can't come up with this foundation is possibly the fact that it does separate just a little bit in areas like between the brows. And also I have heard, since I was off camera there, I was kind of like reading up a little bit of reviews on it. I didn't want to sway my judgment, but I have heard that certain primers with this foundation can go a bit crazy. It's not that they don't mix, it's that they don't like mesh well together on the skin, we'll say. I've also read another review of a girl who said that she used this foundation and it oxidized in patches as well on her face. I didn't have anything like that. It went on flawless. It was really easy to build up as well. That's another pro of this foundation. It is quite full coverage in my opinion. The only cons that I could come up with were other reviews that I had read online. I hadn't actually watched anybody's videos or anything to see how it looks on people's skins, because like I said, I don't want to sway my review of this, but they're the only cons I could come up with, and they're not even my own personal cons. I thought I would give you like a mix of both sides just to help you with this foundation. That's all I kind of want to say on the foundation. Gets a big 2 thumbs up for me. I absolutely adore it. I highly recommend it. That is going to be a foundation that I will be going to. I prefer it to the LA Girl Pro Glow foundation. I think it's even better than that. Is it the Pro Glow? Pro Coverage, that's what it's called. I prefer it to that foundation. I don't really have much else to say about the foundation. I loved it. I really recommend it. So don't forget, you can pick up this foundation on Beauty Bay, on Ulta, where else? LA Girl's website. So it is easy to get worldwide because Beauty Bay does ship worldwide. So that is all I wanted to say on that. I hope you enjoyed this video, this review of the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation, and I will talk to all you guys in my next video. I love you all so much. Mwah! Bye guys!